Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman and Mr. Secretary and General McConville. Thank you for your service. Thank you very much for being here. I want to ask about Afghanistan. All of us, I know, on both sides of the aisle, understand the need to make sure that we on the Hill are operating in ways that are worthy of the sacrifice of our men and women who put on the uniform. We have, a number of us, serious concerns about the Afghanistan agreement as it was released, including the extent to which we are making a number of concessions, the release, committing to the release by the Afghan government of thousands of Taliban fighters, committing to help to work to lift sanctions on terrorists, committing to withdraw our forces. And I was pleased to hear over the weekend Secretary Pompeo make a number of assertions that would have given me comfort, a number of assertions about what we would find when we saw the full agreement and the full documents as they came to the Hill. He made assertions including that there were complex interlocking verification mechanisms. He asserted that there would be a full and complete renunciation of al-Qaeda by the Taliban. I've read the documents, and my concerns remain. I'm not going to talk about what's in the documents. A number of them are classified, as you know, but the documents that have been sent to the Hill do not include those things. So my question, first of all, to you, Secretary McCarthy, is, are there documents that have not been sent to the Hill?
I'm not aware because I'm not directly involved with that.
I'm sorry, I think I can help with that because we've asked about that. My understanding is, and my staff can correct me on this, is just today all of the documents have been sent and will be available in some SCIF today. That's my understanding.
And I've read those. I read them before the hearing, Mr. Chairman. Thank you.
So
you're right. There were a number of documents that were made available that I went to read in the SCIF before coming here this morning. And those documents do not include in them the things that Secretary Pompeo said they would. So my concerns still remain. The decisions about U.S. troop levels on the ground in Afghanistan, we have been assured, the American people have been assured, would always be based upon the national security interests, the counterterrorism threat that we face. And when we're in a situation, as we seem to be now, where we have no verification agreement and we have a number of secret documents, I'd like to ask a couple of things. Number one, and I understand Secretary Pompeo said those documents could not be released to the American people because they would affect troop security. The documents have been seen by the Taliban. So I believe that the American people deserve to know what agreement has been entered into in our name with the terrorists who harbored those who killed 3,000 Americans on 9/11. And I would like the assurances, both of your assurances, that the documents, if either that all of the documents have been delivered, in which case there is not a verification agreement, in which case we do not have the kind of full, complete renunciation of al-Qaeda that Secretary Pompeo says we do. So I'd like your assurance that you will come back to the committee and let us know, is it the case that the documents have all been delivered, in which case those things do not exist, or are there additional documents that need to be delivered to the Hill?
Ma'am, we'll definitely address your concerns with Secretary Esper.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And then finally, I would just ask for your commitment, both of you, that the decisions about U.S. troop levels on the ground in Afghanistan will be made based on what's necessary for our security. Either we need forces on the ground to conduct counterterrorism and intelligence operations, or we don't. And if we don't, then we ought to bring everybody home right now, and we ought not deploy a single additional U.S. service member. But if we do, then we have a moral obligation not to pretend the Taliban can take care of that security concern, that security threat for us. And I think that what we have seen with this agreement now concerns me as much as the Iranian nuclear deal did. Now that I have seen the documents and now that there seems to be still no verification mechanism by which we are going to enforce any of the so-called Taliban promises. So I would appreciate any response that you all have to that. Again, I appreciate your service. I think it's very important that the American people know what's been agreed to on our behalf.
Yes, ma'am, with conditions-based withdrawal was necessary.